Ah, the Strider, the lava-crossing cube, the red-faced rascal, the mob that makes me feel better about my dreadful hair, the nicest mob in the Nether, basically by default. But who cares what I think? Let's ask the people who made the Strider to describe it. Not a great start. Anyone else?
The pig of the Nether.
There is something insect-like with Striders.
A pig, but an insect, eh? So, a pigsect. No, an igsect. No, wait, that's even worse. Well, let's put a hybrid of the pig and an insect into the super art computer and see what we get. Oh, goodness me, no.
Very cute.
Debatable. In fact, let's debate that right now. Just like myself, the Strider eats fungus, is funny looking, and is very cute. Shut your mouth, yes I am. And as I said before, they were added to Minecraft for a specific purpose.
The Nether has a vast amount of lava lakes, and we wanted to give players a whole new tool that allowed them to easily traverse those lava lakes.
Everyone would think, oh, maybe a boat made of something else, or, maybe another method of transportation, but then...
Someone tossed the idea of maybe it could be a mob that you could ride on.
We thought it was more fun and more Minecraft in a sense to add this cute, weird-looking animal that would help you cross the lava.
One of those first and early designs truly redefined the word cute. Meet the crawler.
The crawler, as it was named at the time, which kind of looks like a tardigrade, like the microorganism.
Ah, yes, because we all know what tardigrades look like. That's what they look like. Remind me to have my eyes removed before the next episode.
That was a very different direction for the Strider, but it was all harkening back to this idea of something that crawls through the lava lakes.
Personally, I can't believe the crawler got cut. They were almost as good looking as I am. But the crawler just couldn't meet all the criteria the developers wanted from this mob.
Funny looking.
Very wobbly.
There is something rotten about it.
Oh.
And it's also a bit sad.
Gosh, I can't believe a mob you literally just called rotten would somehow be sad.
The next concept art that we worked on was one that is kind of a little bit closer to the current Strider that we have.
Inspired by Ghasts. Like, it had also this very mellow face.
The Strider was going to be huge. It was also going to have very long legs, maybe multiple legs. And I think the reason at the time was to justify how was it able to actually crawl through the lava? Like, are the legs actually going all the way down to the bottom of the floor?
But the bigger the creature, the bigger the technical problems, which is the only reason the overworld isn't covered in ender dragons. Well, the only reason I can think of anyway.
We reiterated again to something a bit smaller and then tried to think, okay, maybe the legs don't actually have to go all the way down.
We had other design ideas, some a little fishy.
At one point had a fin at the back. It's in the lava lakes, and that is almost like to the overworld's ocean, so maybe it could be somewhat fish-like. But we kind of went away from that because we wanted it to still feel a little bit more alien.
At one point, it even had a long frog-like tongue, just like me. I mean, nothing like me.
This kind of came about as a result of its interaction and behavior around fungus. We thought, okay, how does it actually get the fungus?
But we decided to go in a different direction.
There's this insect called skräddare in Swedish, tailor, I think you would translate it literally to English, that can walk on the surface of water. I think it's something similar to that, like they have figured out how to cross the lava without falling down.
We also, and I know this will blow your mind, caused a bug to appear in Minecraft. Take a look at this. My theory is they're jumping for joy because they're not based on tardigrades. And that wasn't the only bug.
When they would go up to lava waterfalls, they would actually just skyrocket through the lava waterfall. You can also blame me for that because I programmed the physics for it. So.
Oh, come now, Brandon. I already blame you for all of life's problems. But with those bugs now finally squished, we had our Strider.
Together, when we found the real one, you sort of felt it immediately. This is their mob.
I think the design of the Strider is what makes them my favorite. It kind of looks like an elder mob. There's no thoughts behind them derp eyes.
Well, why don't we take a look? Can we switch on the thought cam, please? Oh, I see. How interesting. Let's talk about something else.
It has like these strange appendages on the side of it, and I always imagine them kind of more like whiskers on a cat, which is actually kind of cruel thinking about it now that they drop string.
I would just like to assure all our feline viewers that no cats were harmed in the making of this episode, and that we're currently training several cats to attack Brandon.
One very sweet thing about the Strider is, of course, that it stops freezing as soon as it gets out the lava. It stops shivering. You really feel for them. It adds so much personality.
Unrelatable. Sound design was also, as always, a major priority.
The Striders sound especially cute because they are in the Nether, which is a scary sound environment. So the contrast of having this sort of cute chirping or sad chirping of the Striders, that makes it stand out even more in the environment.
Fascinating. How about you take us through a quick audio-emotional tour?
So it has a sadness to it.
Good?
But it can become happy, then it's like...
That's the sound of happiness. I was way off.
But it can also retreat, and then it sounds something like...
Of course, the sound the player doesn't want to hear is the sound of them burning to death in lava. We learned that the hard way when we saw the dismal sales of our debut album. Anyway, to avoid the player hearing that, we had to figure out how they were going to ride a strider.
Get warped fungus, and as soon as you bring a warped fungus kind of close to a strider, it'll actually start to be interested and move towards you. If you end up getting a saddle, you can right-click on the strider to saddle it up, and if you also craft a fungus on a stick, then you can actually use that to steer the strider.
But please do be careful when you unmount the strider, because...
Yeah, you press the wrong button and you're in lava the whole time. I really like making little environments for them. House in the Nether, and then I'll have a little patio with some lava in it, and then I'll have like my little strider farm.
It was my dream to become a strider farmer, but it didn't work out, and now I have to do this tedious narrating job instead.
Well, I wish them a happy and peaceful life.
And I wish you a happy and peaceful life too, viewer. Unless you're one of my millions of enemies watching this, in which case I hope all your attempts to jump on a strider end with you taking a nice lava bath. Bye!